Get ready for an extraordinary ride as we delve into the incredible odyssey of Timothy, a man whose heart condition led him to a world beyond imagination. Picture this: golden lights beckoning, robed beings of pure light, and a boundless realm of love and understanding. Timothy's first-hand account of what he saw beyond death's door is nothing short of astonishing, and you won't want to miss a single moment of his awe-inspiring journey. I just want to start off by saying I have a condition that causes my heart to shut down and almost stop beating. When this happens, I have out-of-body or NDE experiences. I have recollection of 4 different experiences. My first episode of this was when I was age 17. I had just gotten my wisdom teeth out and was recovering at home. I got up to go to the bathroom. I heard 2 thuds, and then I was in another place. The place was made of light and love. There were robed beings of light were taking care of me. My parents heard my body fall in the bathroom. They broke the door down and brought me back here. My mom told me that I was white as ghost with no life in me at all. It really scared her. I didn't know what to make of the experience other than that I knew it was more real than real. I just tucked it away and went on my life. My next experience happened at age 29. My stepson and I were on a 4-wheeler ATV. I was driving and he was on the back. We were going down a hill pretty fast, and I remember braking because we were going too fast to make the curve at the bottom of the hill. Something happened with the brakes because the next thing I remember was standing on the hillside. Beside me was the 4-wheeler turned upside down, and I saw myself lying face down underneath of it. I didn't pay much attention to that scene because coming toward me from across the creek in front of me were 2 beautiful golden, wispy, glittering lights. The lights got on either side of me and transformed into 2 beings. They were at least 8 feet tall, human-looking beings with pinkish fair skin and Dutch boy haircuts. One had straight platinum blonde hair, and the other had yellow hair with a bit of a wave to it. They both had white robes on. I was in awe. We went up very fast, and in the blink of an eye we were in this wondrous place of bright-colored landscapes. There were beautiful plants and grass. All of this was alive, like they were conscious plants. That's the only way I can describe it. It was a place full of joy that even the plants were happy. There was a white, walled city in the distance. There were some domed buildings on the other side of the wall. The 2 tall beings sat me down on a bench and told me I had to stay there until they were done talking to another very tall, slender male person with short dark hair and who was dressed in a dark one-piece outfit. When they came back, I was told that I couldn't enter the city. I was devastated because I wanted so badly to go into the city. I asked if I could come back here, and they replied, yes. They were very gentle and loving with me, but firm. Then I was sucked back into my body. I was underneath the 4-wheeler, and my stepson was trying to get it off of me. I don't know how, but I raised up off the ground and threw the 4-wheeler off of me. It went tumbling down the hill. Fortunately, neither one of us were seriously hurt, but I was pretty sore and banged up. My stepson didn't have a scratch on him. Later he told me that we slammed into the bank beside us, and he flew through the air and landed unharmed. I have to say that this experience profoundly affected me. I knew it was more real than real, and I couldn't stay there despite badly wanting to go back. I was angry and very sad for years, thinking that I may never get to go back there. I have had a lifetime of heart problems. As I'm writing this, I have survived 6 heart attacks, several stent placements, a quadruple heart bypass, and I have a defibrillator pacemaker implant. I had a spell of tachycardia at work that prompted me being taken to the hospital. They performed a number of tests on me, what brought that on without success. In the process, it was the tilt table test in which they found I had this cardiosyncope condition. I failed the test, but when I did, I left my body to find myself in a twisty, turning corridor. Above was this beautiful multicolored light that was good and full of love. I was chasing it. I wanted the light so badly that all I could think about was to get to that light. As I was gaining on it, then all of a sudden, I pulled up out of there and above the area. I realized that it was a giant labyrinth. I was sucked back into my body on the table. I opened my eyes. The doctors were asking how I was. They told me I had failed the test in the worst way they had ever seen. All I could think about was how furious I was to be back here. I just didn't want to be here. My next and last NDE was the most profound experience ever. I had been having severe abdominal pain. So much so that I had to go to the emergency room a couple of times. Then one morning I awoke to the severe abdominal pain. It was worse due to severe diarrhea and dehydration that was life-threatening. My condition triggered a syncope episode that would not stop. I was fighting to hold on to consciousness. It was so bad that my wife, at the time, had called 911 and a squad of first responders were on the way. I fought to stay conscious until they could get there. They took me out of the bathroom on some kind of wheelchair. They wheeled me to the gurney and asked me to stand up and get on it. I told them I couldn't stand, so they said they would help me. They got on both sides of me and helped me to stand. I found out later that my body had fallen to the ground. My eyes were wide open, and my mouth was making gurgling sounds. Yet I was instantly in this place of golden light and pure love. I was standing in this area of light, without boundaries. The love was incredible. I saw a group of people made of light. I wondered who they were. As soon as I thought that, they instantly came to me. There were about a dozen people, and 2 of them came closer to me. One person was a beautiful woman with auburn hair. She was dressed in a white robe and radiated light from her being. She was powerful, in charge but full of love. The love surrounded us, and it was in us. We were all connected in the love light. We began to communicate with each other. Instantly, I knew all about her, and she knew all about me. Then I realized that I was home. I knew everyone, and they knew me. I'm crying as writing this. Every time I think about it, it makes me cry. This woman was my grandmother, and the male that was with her was my dad. It was not so much them as I knew on Earth, but who they really are. They were the beings I've known for an eternity. They love me so much, and I them. I realize this is where I'm from and where we're all from. I remember that part of me has been away here on Earth, at school. They were so glad that I was back. They admired me so much for being gone. I knew so much instantly that I don't remember anymore at this time. I can only speculate that I can't know it in the physical state I'm in now. There was a flood of information, images, and knowledge. I know who Jesus claimed he was from the Bible. He claimed he was the Son of God. The answer I got confirmed what I already knew as a Christian. It was a confirmation that he's coming back to Earth. The energy I felt was excitement. The other side is waiting with anticipation for this to happen. I understood that it's going to be a marvelous event. Then the woman held her hands up and put them together, interlocking her fingers, much like a quarterback does when he's calling for a huddle. I understood that to mean that these 2 realms, here and there, are going to be one. I felt a sense excitement and wonderfulness. I asked when this would happen, and all I got was, soon. They didn't know exactly when. That's when I felt like they came over the top of me as if I were lying down. We come to Earth to learn to grow up. We learn far more here than we can there. The pain and joy that we suffer here teaches us so much about love and goodness by experiencing the lack of it. It's a powerful lesson we have to learn. I was informed that I was only going to be there until they got my body fixed up enough to where I could inhabit it again. I was devastated. Again. I didn't want to go back, but I had to go back. They laid me down in my body, and the woman reached in to kiss me, and I was rapidly pulled away, almost like I was going down a drain. I heard an audible voice that kept telling me to trust in the Lord. The Lord to me is Jesus Christ. I felt myself being sucked back into my body. I was sucked back into my body. My stepson was standing over me and shaking me, yelling, "Dad, Dad!" I was in considerable distress. They had my feet above my head and couldn't get a blood pressure reading, and my heart rate was 30 BPM. They ended up airlifting me to another hospital where I spent several more days. I'm missing some days. I have no memory of them.